So let's do an example here. For example, let's create a sheet of a joint. This joint have different plates. Okay, so let's select it. Here we have an empty sheet. Okay, and let's use here this little button here to insert predefined views of this connection. Okay, so this connection here have different options here with different scales. Okay, for example, 3D view, front, side, plan, plate 1, plate 2. I will deactivate some of these plates just to be something easier to understand. For example, I will maintain just 2 plates and some views of the reference here. Okay, one of the features that we have here is the option to add or not the dimensions of the elements we have here. And according to this option, then we can select the style of these dimensions. Okay, styles that we can create before here in the styles block of or the style section. Okay, so here in the dimension option, we can set the appearance of these dimensions, and here we select if this sheet that will be generated automatically will include or not the dimension of the elements. So I will select it. Okay, here I'll select the size of the paper, for example, A3, A4. Okay, and let's accept it. Okay, let's accept it, and let's see what happens here. So the software will generate for us the elements. It's actually generating more than one element because it's too much for one sheet. Okay, and as you can see here, in some of these elements we already have the dimensions. For example, these plates were created, the dimensions were introduced automatically according to the style that we selected before. Okay, so this is a new feature. If you have a plate, this plate will have different geometry, different characteristics, this type of plate, the position of each element here, and now you can set these dimensions automatically. Something nice here is that then if you want, you can change these dimensions too. And that's a new feature too, because when you create this continuous dimension here, okay, then if you go near this dimension and use this option here that is modify the geometry, if you select here, now you see that there's a little yellow dot in some places, and some places a red dot. Okay, if we click on the yellow dot, we can change in this direction here the size of the dimension. Okay, and if we click here on the red dot, actually we'll delete this partial dimension and we'll have the new length here. And again, if I click here, I will delete and I'll have the new one. Okay, so in sometimes, depending on the geometry of the element, you can just generate automatically the dimensions and then easily delete those one that you don't want, instead of adding dimensions manually using the option that we have here. Okay, so here actually I'm showing you two options. One that is automatically generates the dimensions of some elements. The elements that we can do that now are those elements based on plates. So the plate, the single plates like this, or those assemblies that are made by built-up sections. And then the second option is the option to delete these intermediate points in continuous dimensions, as we saw here in this example. Okay, again, to activate these yellow and red dots, you must use this option here. Okay, the option to modify geometry, click in the dimension, and then you can change these parameters and do the way that you prefer. Okay, so let's do one example also with an assembly like this. Okay, for example, if I go to my list of sheets, I can filter here all the sheets that I must design here. So let's filter by part, for example. I'll select one of these, the first one, for example, Here I have the empty sheet. I will do the same thing here. I will add a scene, a predefined scene. In this case here, I'll select just one. Let me put here another scale. And I will select here one style. I can also change, for example, for hybrid or vector image. Let's put some vector image. Let's accept. Oh, the scale was not good. So let's delete this guy here. And let's add another scale, for example. So 120, for example. Okay, 120. We select this style. Let's put on vector and maintain the dimension selected. And as you can see here, this bin in this case, or this part of the bin, it's already with the dimensions here. Okay, and again, it's the same situation. I have here some details here, 32 millimeters there. Here we have these dimensions here. If we want, we can edit that guy and delete or modify the dimension, no problem. Or then add more dimensions if we want.